because when I'm doing this video, I discuss it with the people from Swaziland, or people who are in Swaziland, people on the ground. Some of them are the people who say, please post about this. So I said, no, but she's just a mother. You know, mothers, we are very tender. We don't attack mothers that easily. It's very difficult to attack a mother. And sometimes a mother can just take some kind of attack for things that she hasn't done, or rather, maybe she's just caught in the crossfire for issues that she's not even guilty of. So I thought, this is just a mother. And mothers sometimes take a lot of whipping for the crimes of their children. And it's very rare to find a mother trying to justify her own position and maybe make her son look like a devil or make her daughter look like evil. She will just take the beating, take the whipping in silence. And she will go to the grave with it without even explaining and maybe trying to justify how innocent she is herself. Then I watched this video of her.
Order! Ladies and gentlemen, Her Majesty is of us.
After watching this video, then I realized maybe she's very much involved. Then someone explained to me that there was a fund that she initiated, that she ended up taking all the money, and the women were involved in that funding. They never took anything. Then maybe we would rather say that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupt, absolutely. And in Swaziland, the system that is there is that such that the king is not supposed to rule alone. Of course, he's an absolute king, but he's supposed to rule with the queen mother and the council. And in recent years, I'm told that the King Mswat III, has been ignoring everyone else, the advice of the council, the advice of the Queen Mother, and therefore the Queen Mother is being caught in the crossfire. She is the she-elephant, of course, and people would wish that she should go. They are not saying she must not be treated. They're saying go to Swaziland and get treated there. What about people who are not in your situation? If they get ill with the same kind of disease that you have, or let's say older women of your age, if they get sick with the same infirmity that you have, same sickness, same illness that you have, what is their choice if that illness cannot be treated in Swaziland, which means there's only one option that is going to happen to them: they will die. Why do you run down the healthcare system of your own country? Being involved as you are as the Queen Mother, of course, I think she was involved even in the installation of for King Mswat. She was 100% involved that King Mswat should become the king of Swaziland. She's the mother, and she was 100% involved in all of it. Although they say maybe ladies are not involved, the woman, the mother, doesn't know anything. That is the information that comes from Lambi Kisa. Lambi Kisa said something like that. So she's I think if she could stand up for the people, if she had stood up for the people, something that the people could remember, that she always stands up for the people against her own son, which I think is very uncommon. Sometimes mothers is very difficult. They can try to instruct someone, but advise someone in the background, and if it doesn't, they'll just suffer in silence. I don't know whether it's this what happened. What I don't want is just for us or for the Swazi people to just see attack her so openly. Sometimes women are so, like Mswati, for example. I don't think he takes anything from the wives. For example, the wives, do they even have an input into how he runs the country? Do they have any suggestion that they make? Because a woman, if you are married to a woman, he has 15 of them, maybe slightly less. They should be giving some input, tell him, oh, please, don't you think this is wrong? The way you are going about this is wrong. And in the end, you discover that women, especially the position of women in Swaziland, is so weak. I think Mswati doesn't even look at a woman as a person whom he can listen to, and as a person from whom he can get really relevant advice from. Maybe he's quite aware that women have got the gift of advice. A woman can advise you on something that she doesn't know anything about, and whatever she will be saying will be the right thing. You can't ignore the advice of a woman, or you can't live without the advice of a woman sometimes, because that's why God placed her there. And from Swati, I think it's totally different. He doesn't have any doctrine of this kind, or he doesn't believe in anything of this kind. Maybe the only thing that he believes, that whatever he thinks, it's either his way or no way at all. Which is why I have to blame the Queen Mother with some reservation. I can't totally attack her on this, because I know Mswati is a hot-headed, strong-headed fool. He doesn't take any advice from a worse advice from a lady, worse advice from a woman, and maybe I think worse advice from his own mother. He might show some respect there only as a sign that he's as a display, as a show. Not that he's any serious about respecting women, or rather giving them their very deserved position in a relationship, in a marriage, or as mothers. So the women, can we blame them? Yeah, of course. Sometimes they are sent on errands where they buy very expensive things. But can they say, no, I can't go there because you're wasting state money? They are caught between the rock and the hard place. They seem not to have, women seem not to have a clear choice in the things that they do sometimes, even if you have to look at it like this. But maybe the Queen Mother is so powerful. That's what people say. If she had stood up for the people, I saw her making some donations. Maybe it's just to save their face from maybe obvious embarrassment. And when the health system has collapsed the way it has done in Swaziland, she is responsible also for that. So the bashing and the barrage of attacks that is coming from the people maybe is justified. But I don't want to be involved in it myself, because I'm not very sure about the facts, how far involved she is, and whether she's responsible for all these things. But the person that I'd blame most is Mswati himself, Mswati III, and his daughter, because I think the daughter has got a definite and a very clear and a very powerful position in terms of influencing her own father. She can rebel against the father. The mother cannot rebel against her son. I don't think that is possible. I don't think that is really practical. But is that really pragmatic for a mother to get disengaged from a son because he's running down the country or is not ruling in a proper way? Although she might have the proper advice that she gives him almost on a daily basis, but he chooses to ignore that particular advice. What choice does a mother have? A mother is always in a predicament. She seems like she won't have any choice, and she would just have to suffer and persevere without showing any signs that maybe there is a lot of fight with the son in the background. She then, in the end, she looks like she's equally guilty of things that she might not be guilty of. So here, I don't know really. You Swazi's people, you have to make a judgment for yourself and decide whether if there is any justification in this open attack on her. Or rather, maybe we might say you are not to blame because you are not saying she must not get treatment, but we are saying go back to Swaziland and get treatment there. At the Netcare hospital where she's being treated, people have been demonstrating that no, you Ramaphosa, why do you take people who have hospitals? We have hospitals there in Swaziland. Where this lady, important as she is, she can make just one hospital, equip it with everything so that when they get sick, these very rich people, these VIPs, these very important people, when they get sick, at least they get treated in their own country without wasting financial resources. Right now, it's costing the country money for her to be there, to be treated there in South Africa. And even the transportation and everything. These people are very, very important people. Very, very VIPs. They, wherever they travel, they use money. They use a lot of duff. So people are saying, please just go back and get treated there at home like the rest of us. All animals are equal. So if we are all equal in the face of the Lord, or all equal in our country, you should also get treated where we get treated, because if we get ill, we won't get the financial resources to come here and get treated like you are. They are accusing you of being insensitive. That if you are a sensitive mother, if you are a mother of the nation, like she's supposed to be, then you are supposed to really make sure the hospitals, the clinics, and everything in Swaziland is functional, is functioning very well, is in good condition, so that it can take care of all the Swazis, treat them when they are ill like you are. If you are ill like this and you come to South Africa, what does it mean for the whole nation? Do they have to all trek to South Africa for treatment? And how many of them are going to afford it? That's the question. So it's a sign of insensitivity on the part of the Queen Mother and her son, and rather on the royal family as a whole, because they treat every Swazi as a non-entity, as nothing. They don't see Swazis as people who are worth anyone's salt, because they run down the hospitals and the Swazis have nowhere to go, because the medicines are not there, the nurses are not well paid, the nurses are suffering, and it's just a hospital by name, but when you go inside, there's nothing. And yet this Queen Mother is here in the comfort of a very rich, a very expensive hospital where she's getting treatment. And soon maybe she will be okay, she'll go back, and she will never even have a day when she will have to go around and look at the condition of the hospital. If she could do that, which they rarely do, the royal family in Swaziland never goes around looking at anything. They just enjoy their life separate, or rather detached, far away, far removed from the life of everybody. Because if they could go around in hospitals, but I don't think they are unaware. They are very aware of what is happening there. It's just that they don't care. Because if they would really care, if they were concerned, if they are empathetic and sympathetic with the Swazi people, the people that they represent, they would at least realize that these hospitals are in very bad shape, and they would take care of at least maybe a few, where maybe even the people who are not very rich but who are just okay financially would go for treatment, instead of being shipped, or rather being transported to South Africa whenever they are sick. It shows a nation which is really suffering, a sick nation, a diseased nation, a nation that is ill because of what? Because of the Queen Mother and the son, and maybe the royal family as a whole. Even people like Skanyiso are also involved. But what I think the advice that I can give you is that maybe this is your chance to maybe Do something. Well, this is King Mswati. That's what I was told that I have to tell. I have to say that this is maybe a chance to do something, to start to move, because talking about an issue, and there's never a right time for anything. Maybe this is the time for the Swazis to start something, to stir something up, while the King Mswati is busy with his mother and other things. People to start a movement. This is a suggestion that I'm asked to be making here. It's not my own, and that is why I'm doing this video. That maybe the leaders should look at this as their chance to attack. Their time to start those things, those demonstrations, those riots that they wanted to start. Maybe there will never be a right time. Maybe the leaders could be waiting for a time, but that time, there's never a right time. The right time is when you decide to start, and the sooner the better. It's time maybe for the leaders of Swalimo, Gauzela, Mlungisi, and all the other leaders, Kolani, to organize that you have to start a movement. But this is not me who's saying this. These are the people that really talk to me about these things and make sure that I say something, maybe as a suggestion. Maybe you have your own plans, which you are entitled to your own plans, because in the end you'll be managing and running all these things, managing them and organizing them. So you have to choose the time that this is just a suggestion, that maybe you can start now while they are busy with this, because you never know. Some people say when the Queen Mother dies, you are never told. When it is announced maybe she will be buried and things like that, maybe she's dead. That's why someone was telling me that the Queen Mother, you will never be told that she's dead. It will never be announced that she now has died. It will just go around as rumors like she's ill. Yeah, that's how in the past these kings and queens were. Their funerals were, how their funerals were announced to the people. Actually, there was no funeral. Everything would be organized in private, in secret, actually, without anyone knowing about anything. But I remember that Sobuza, King Sobuza was actually, his body was carried. Was displayed in public, and he was actually in a sitting position. In the coffin, he was actually seated. I don't know whether he was buried like that, but he was seated, like actually like he was on a chair or something. He wasn't laid on his back, the normal position for someone who is dead that we know. He wasn't. He was actually in a sitting position. So that one was announced. I don't know what the situation, or rather how it will be with the Queen Mother, because someone was telling me that when the Queen Mother dies, maybe there is no announcement that will be made. Maybe in this situation, maybe you could be talking about her being there, being treated. She might be dead, because people are also, there's also suspicion that she has been ill for quite a long time. That this illness is not a fair. Even if you look at some of the pictures, some of the images, it looks like she wasn't quite well. They seem to display or portray the fact that she was actually ill for maybe quite some time. She's an old woman. Mswati was born when? Mswati was born in 1968. Which means the mother, if the first son, maybe she gave birth to Mswati when she was only maybe 18. That's the normal age when they got married to these kings, 18, 17. Which means she was born maybe, but she should be well and good. If it's possible that the health is just those moments when she has ill health. Maybe she's not so old, too old, that it will be obvious for her to have to die at this moment because of age, because of the natural coming in of age, or rather the natural death that should come. She should be in very good condition if maybe she's just okay. So there it is for you here. It's just a suggestion that people have been making. I don't know. This is your channel. You can just give me suggestions. Comment in the comment section. and tell me exactly what you think about this situation. This is a piece of information that I'm just receiving now that Mthandeni Dube, one of the incarcerated MPs, is seriously ill. And yesterday, some members of the Swalimo went there to try and see what the situation is like. And they were chased around by, rather, they were physically assaulted, heavily assaulted by the prison warders there. And maybe they had to leave in a hurry because they couldn't do what they had gone there to do because of the police attacks and police violence. This really is a very bad happening. This is a very bad occurrence. Considering the fact that these MPs have been there in the prison for a long time and maybe they are not even having the best in terms of health care, and for the police, for the warders to refuse them attendance is a serious breach of their human rights. And this, what does this say about Swaziland anyway? What about this? What does this say about where the state of affairs is going in Swaziland? Are they going to be taken to South Africa also? He's supposed to be, because it looks like he's seriously ill. He's also supposed to be taken to South Africa, a very good South African hospital, because he's a VIP. A minister is VIP, maybe more VIP than the Queen Mother. He's supposed to be taken to South Africa to get the best medical care, because that's what they do with VIPs, and him being a VIP, they should take him there. I really am worried about what is happening. I'm worried about this occurrence. I did not come across it, and coming across it like right now, like now, it makes me feel very sad. Swaziland now is in a state of crisis. And this crisis will be very much prolonged, because even when there is quietness, when there is calmness, when there is what word do they normally use here for? When there is tranquility, you might not see that there is a crisis there because of the tranquility, but the crisis is always boiling, especially at this moment in time, especially with the issue of democracy, especially with the issue of people's freedoms. I don't know when this is going to end, because it won't end because there is silence. It won't end because there is quietness. It won't end because everything is calm. It won't end because the Queen Mother is ill. It won't end because the pro-democracy people are not announcing anything. Because situations and events are always happening in Swaziland, which show that the situation can never be normal until there is democracy, until people choose for themselves, until people make choices of their own, informed choices of their own, are free to choose who is going to lead them. Swat has been there since 1986. One leader. Maybe Obiang of Equatorial Guinea maybe is one of the few people who can challenge him in terms of the time that he has been on the throne. And we know that power corrupts. You can never be a good person after being on the throne for quite a long time like that. You cannot. It will corrupt you. You start to be blind to what people really want. You start not caring about anyone but about yourself. You start to justify the wrong things that you do. Yeah, that's right, because you have been doing it for quite a long time. You think it's the right thing because of the repetition. So he cannot be a good leader, especially if you consider that he's an absolute monarch, one who decides everything by himself, and who has the power to make the final decision in every case without even consulting anyone, without even consulting his mother. Like I'm told that he refuses to consult the mother, and when the mother says something, he doesn't want to listen. When the council says something, which is why he was poisoned at one time. One time he was fed some poison, because they are realizing that this guy is a dantite, he's not listening to what you are telling him, so we better feed him some poison, so that if maybe somebody could feed the king himself some poison and make sure that everyone's misery is ended by his ending, by ending his life, that would be okay. That could be okay maybe for the Swazi people, because a lot of people are suffering because of the decision that Mswati makes about Swaziland, about the Swazi people. That is, if he makes any decision about the Swazi people at all, he seems not to care about the Swazi people anymore. He seems to have complete disregard about the Swazis. Like I said in a previous video, that he cares only about the immediate family, his immediate family. Maybe sees everyone else as just nothing. This is We Africa. Please subscribe to the channel and please share with your friends and family. And I want to see comments down there. Let us comment and talk about these issues. Comment, please, and let's discuss everything, because this is a critical moment in Swaziland. This is a critical moment for the Swazi people. This is a critical moment for Swaziland. Please comment so that the discussion is very active and informed. Thank you so much for viewing.